Oh, welcome back my gardening friends to beginning of June allotment tours. And first of all I just want to do a little bit of trial with the living green compost. So the peat-free multi-purpose, the salad veg compost and the all-purpose seed compost. I've got these ready there and will be up against my homemade compost. So we've put a wee bit of material in the bottom of all the buckets, and we've taken the seed potatoes out the fridge in the shed, and I think I'm going to be planting most of the rockets and some of the others. I don't want to lose some of these varieties. Some of these varieties, the pink fir apple was sent to me by Steve at Steve's Allotment, and some others, so I want to get some of those in. And at the same time, let's see if we get any better results from any of the materials we use. Potatoes will grow in anything, even a bucket of stones. If you've seen that video, that's completely amazing. So let's get these planted. So we've got all the labels sorted, and the seeds are in there. A bit awkward to see the screen, but we've put equal amounts. There's the homemade compost one. And then in the homemade compost we've got 4 Marfonia, 6 Charlotte and 6 pink for apple. Best if I take them out the egg box first. Right, we'll get all these topped up. So that's all those topped up now. And if you're interested in the living green compost, when you go to your garden centres or allotment shops, sheds, just mention it to them to see if they can do a bulk order, which will hopefully get it into this country a lot easier, so more people can try this. Just a little bit more compost to make up. We've got that left now. We can do a few more containers of compost. We're due a severe weather warning here Sunday the 5th. It'll be here by the time you watch this video. Absolutely going to thunder, rain, hail and everything else. So hopefully the plants and everything will survive. I've uncovered the leaves so they can get a good drenching. I'm going to leave those out to the elements. That's the trials with the living green compost. Steve at Digwell Green Fingers, the single seed potato experiment. We've got 5 plants there that survived the frost and everything else. I might try and take a picking of strawberries today because the rain won't do them any good whatsoever. I'm battling the blackbirds and the mice. And when I took out these daffodils that we put in the wildflower garden, some of them had gone rotten. So when we get onto plot 3, we're on plot 1 at the moment, I'll show you what I've found. And everything seems to be doing okay in here. We haven't had to top up the water at the moment. You might be able to see the water level there, and that's been up and running now for 3 weeks. So an excellent addition to the allotment, the gravity fed wick guttering system. I've had a lot going on with Spider Farmer and the power tools. We built this during that time. It's the Comfrey bin, large Comfrey bin, to help with the Comfrey concentrate. As you can see, it's just up to that rib now, and as you can see there, it's ready for a top up. The first lot of Comfrey has just started to grow now and get the flowers on, so we'll be able to take this, and then at least the bees have still got somewhere to go. And we're on plot 1, and this is the sweet corn country gentleman. That's what was potted up or planted into pots, not the cardboard rolls. You'll see the difference shortly. And we've now got the Mammoth Mora, the sunflower long challenge. Let's hope they do all good. I did notice a new poppy today as I was walking around, and my favourite is just starting, and this year I'm going to keep this weed free and collect some seeds, see if we can get some seeds from that one again. The giant carrots are bulbing up, but they're also splitting, so all this rain that we're going to have may not do these any good at all. So you can understand why the big growers, they grow them inside, controlled. Won't be long before some of the summer fruiting raspberries are ready. Beautiful sunshine today. I don't like it on the film, but beautiful sunshine. We've taken some more rhubarb out. As you can see, we've got some massive sticks in there, but they won't last till September. So what I'm doing is taking it down every week or every fortnight, so that hopefully we'll get some big sticks for September again. We'll give it a good feed of liquid nitrogen, nettle, or the manure runoff. We've got condors here. They're the ones from Frank. Got all the supports up, doing well this year. These were the ones that weren't as good, caught the frost, and then these are the ones that were doing a lot better, but they were it was a real hard task getting them in without damaging them. But we'll see if these big barrels help. And we've got some more down there. If nothing else, we'll have some big potatoes for chips or bacon. The raspberries look nice and tidy. Diligently keeping them into the straps to keep them upright. And as you can see, I was frantically weeding this morning while the sun was out, because well, I've missed, but the weeds have been completely rampant. And the blackberries are coming on nicely. Won't be long before we have a few of these, and just hope this structure holds up with the winds and everything else that we're going to get this weekend. This cabbage cage, fruit cage, whatever you want to call it, has been a godsend really. And these really first year we took, these were runners from last year, and they're not quite ready, but hopefully the rain won't spoil them too much. Giant cabbage sprung into life. And then my red cabbage that I want to go to seed. So I've got my own seed for the future. And as you can see, these have rolled off again. And so this is the Aztec broccoli. We'll see what that's like. Might nip the top out that, let it spread its wings. So we move from plot 1 to plot 3. Again, you might be able to see all the weeds there. I'll just leave them in the paths, nothing hurting, but the actual borders were full of them. And we've got some really nice currants. There's the black currants, the red ones earlier. I'm trying to get the gooseberries to grow uphill, but there's lots of hanging goosegogs there. And the blueberries look a lot better this year because I've used the acacia compost instead of the pine needles. And these straps are working. because I can still get through. A lot of these branches I'm going to cut off now, not later. Normally do it over the winter, but I want the ones that are going upright as my next year's fruiting canes. I did forget to keep watering these potatoes. If you've got containers, they should be watered every day, whether it rains or not. We've had a good tidy up on the square foot gardening, because it's those small leaves we want for my lunchbox. And while we were doing some of the jobs in May, we tied the ferns up. It was a job that needed doing, but it was an extra job. And there's all the material we've taken out, and we've interplanted with some salad onions. Out of all the carrots from that excuse me, no, I'm not eating nothing. We only lost one, well, we didn't lose it, one without germination. And I've managed to find time to sow another batch, 2 to 3 seeds, and use the bottles. And Brian's idea of using the little canes to stop the bottles flopping over. Pop over and see Brian. Got a great little channel there. As you can see, the sweet corn grown in the cardboard rolls is still looking not happy, but these winds, they've been cold and it hasn't done a lot of the stuff that I planted recently very good, but it will recover. There's a nice asparagus spear there, but I said I'd only harvest it for 6 weeks, and we're over that now, so that can just go to fern, and we'll let this die back completely before we put it back, and then we'll mulch the beds and top up the worm farms with something nice for them, ready for next year. We need to build those crowns, so we mustn't be too greedy while they're young plants. You can see the difference, these pongos to those, sown at different times, yes, but they are still struggling because they were left in the cardboard rolls too long. But the weather's not been awfully kind, and a sacrificial crop, well, I say sacrificial, we've got some sparkler 3 there as a crop to get in and done before the peas and pongos take over this space. With it raining tomorrow, I'm going to take some of these beetroot, and this rain's not doing, or the weather's not doing the onions much good, some of them anyway, but they do look healthy. And he says, while he looks about, none of these have gone to seed. These are the red Florence and Zebrune shallots onions. Cabbages are still getting attacked with the aphids. Hopefully they'll grow out of it, but they're looking good. Must get some supports in for the sprouts. They just started to lean. I did overpack all the cabbages, brassicas. Just need time to get the other net. I've got to cut it in half, and that will fit on this one, and then the other one can go on the other one, and hopefully I may be able to get myself some more scaffold planks. I'll have to wait and see. I do like these beds 3 scaffold planks high. It's so much easier to work on, similar to the pallet collar beds at 4 high. Shallots are out of here now and drying under cover. They were drying outside, but this heavy rain, I don't want them going rotten. So like I said, I lifted those daffodils. Some of the pots had got none in because they'd gone rotten, and I did find that some of these had just started to go rotten, so we pulled those out. We'll get them pickled as soon as we can. We've been getting a little bit of rust on some of the garlic and the The scapes are just starting to think about doing loop the loop. Once they've done that, I'll harvest the scapes and then we'll harvest these. The walking onions are hang on, so this is the bed here, so they've walked onto the next bed, and what they do, they just root down and they carry on growing. We'll stop that, we'll try and keep them all in one. If you remember, we cut them off here because we've got the allium leaf miner. Look at the growth we've got on that since we actually well, we had to cut most of these back. Catch it in time and hopefully they'll be okay. Golden Gourmet, they're not ready yet. Find a space, plant some lettuce. Yes, I grew too much stuff again. Well, last year I run out. This year I've got a little bit too much, but it makes great compost material. I've never been able to grow celery before, and looking at this Discovery F1, I'm not overly happy with that. The branches are splayed out, but the golden self blanching, oh, where are we? Can't see. Oh, there. Whether you can see that or not, but that looks a lot better. So I'm glad I planted two varieties, and the old parsnips are looking really good. Hopefully they won't get bashed too much. If this hail comes and that, then everything will get a good battering. So we had a couple of spare pak choy and 5 the red organic iceberg. I think it was real seeds. I'll give them plenty of room to grow, because as you can see there, they get a bit too close together and then they start going rotten. They look lovely on top until you start cutting them off and you lose half of it anyway. But it's better to have some than none at all. We've taken all the tops out, the broad beans, and the last storm washed the rest of the black fly off. These are the field beans, and there you can see the ladybird eating all the black fly. This is first I've seen of this, so I should just wash this off with water. There's loads and loads of ladybirds on there. You don't want to be spraying it. That's what the ladybirds are there for. They'll probably eat all them by morning. And the courgette, that's Venus, and a pickled. Again, we've got some lettuce in there. They'll be harvested before this plant takes over this bed completely. And I think by Monday, after the rain, I'll be having some of these in my lunchbox. Excuse me. First proper pea of the season. I've got far too many radishes. Excuse me, let's get this out of my mouth first. I've got quite a few radish as well, so I did notice that somebody pickled some radish. If anybody's got any recipes, all I was thinking was just cut the radish in half and bung it in some vinegar. Leave me a comment. These crimson broad beans that come crimson, I think they're just some are crimson and some are half and half. This is why when we save our own seed, we don't always get what we expect. The carrots are coming on nicely. My granddaughter, son and his partner come, and the kids had a little carrot each. It was nice to see the youngsters eating vegetables. Olivia's okay, it's just some kids don't always like veg. New Zealand spinach not looking happy. was a bit of an experiment, and both the white libs Lisbon and Ready won't be long before they are ready. And again, we built the sink using those tools that my sponsor sent me, and none of the water goes to waste now at all, and all the scraps get chucked in there. Didn't want that to happen, but it did. It was just enough room, and it all runs off the IBC. I've been having issues with mice in here. Hopefully that will stop, and I need to get some of these tomatoes tied up now. I've got all the supports in. No good having supports if you haven't tied them in. Beef master there. Again, I've got a nice selection. Some failures are the Emily cucumbers. They haven't done very well. That one you just saw there was one that I bought in later. One giant beetroot left. Some kestrel. Potatoes that we didn't get to harvest. They're growing again. Let's let them grow. Emily's gone. There's two there gone. Got some more at home in the grow room. And these spaces are for the other giants. Please remember, thumbs up, thumbs down. Check out all the links below on the things that we've been looking at in May, and watch out for another raffle. Some of these radishes are going to seed. That's why I need to get them out. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.